That's so terrible. That's the worst one yet. I don't even know what that was. Welcome to the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm the Andre Navarro on the right. He's wearing a nice looks like something you find like at the beach. You know those little tents where you change your outfit at the beach?
Thanks, man.
That's what it looks like an old school 1950s one. For audio listeners, that's what Dre's wearing as a tank top. He looks great, dude.
Thanks.
Ready to go.
Freaking ready.
We got Tyler Rebellis on the left, also known as It's Your Boy T. You can follow these guys on Instagram and Twitter. Those links are down in the description below. But they're here to help me tell you who to start.
Damn. Fantastic. I can't believe we made it this far. Not us, but the season.
I know. It got a little rocky there in week 5, but so far so good going into week 6.
Whoa.
Although there was a scare for the Falcons today. One of the personnel members tested positive for COVID, so they kind of shut down the facility.
I heard it was some ex-coach, though.
Yeah.
Coach style.
Dan Quinn was getting fired. He was just leaving. He was just like,
just coughing on
he was just coughing all over the place.
Like we did this last week where picking up. Yeah,
Mike, come on, Mike.
I don't know. I'm tripping.
I hear you.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Like not. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, we're good.
That's what you should have did for the intro right there.
Sandwich.
But yeah, so like last week we did a start sit where we just picked kind of like these middle ground guys where you're not sure if you're gonna start or sit them, but we let you know if they're good enough to start and sit. So we're not going through every single game like we used to. But if you have any questions about any of these players that we don't cover, let us know. And if you want easy navigation through the podcast, like I always do, I put a little table of contents, little timestamps when we talk about each of these players. If you want to just go skip ahead to running backs because you need a little bit of help there, wide receivers, that kind of thing, you can do that in the description. On YouTube, they're actually clickable, so you can just click it and then move on to that exact point in the podcast. But you can also just scrub through on audio podcasts. But take advantage of that tool because it's very helpful and useful when doing fantasy research. So, yeah, check that out. Also, if you are trying to add somebody on your squad, the waiver wire column, the article link will be in the description as well. It's a link to our website. We did a little article on who to pick up this week because they could still be available in your league. You never know. Okay?
You know better like saying? You don't know.
Better like it could be sitting right there.
Right in front of your eyes. You
have no idea. But yeah, we got first before we get into the start sits, we do have some news. It's probably old news if you're listening to this, but our boy Le'Veon Bell has been traded, or not traded. He was released. I already fucked it up. He was released and signed to the Kansas City Chiefs. We got a little Le'Veon Bell, Kansas City Chiefs template there. So, what are your boys' thoughts? When will he get involved? Are you hyped if you have Le'Veon Bell? Did you trade for him? Because I did.
I mean, he goes to the Chiefs, like you said. He gets released by the Jets. I'm a little surprised that the Jets decided to part ways with Le'Veon Bell before Adam Gase. You would think that he would get fired before they would let go of the running back they paid $27 million for. They pretty much just paid him $27 million for nothing. But yeah, he gets released. It came down to the Chiefs and the Dolphins. As a Dolphins fan, I didn't want him to go to Miami, so I'm kind of hyped he didn't. I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire in a couple leagues, so I'm not hyped about that at all. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation for me right there. But yeah, he ends up in Kansas City with the Chiefs. Like I said, he made his money. He got his $27 million. Then he's made I think over like $20+ million over there with the Steelers. So he's made over like $45 million in his career. I think now it's not about the money as much as he just wants to win a ring. With that being said, Yeah, what do you think the value here is going forward for a guy like Le'Veon Bell and Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Le'Veon can't play this week. He's got a quarantine, and so
which is good. So if you have Le'Veon Bell, just know, or if you have Clyde Edwards, it gives a little bit boost. Gives you an extra week to figure out what to do.
He can't play because he's got to go through the league protocol. He's got to quarantine before he can officially become a Kansas City Chief. But like I said, with that being said, Dre, what do you feel about this situation with Bell and CEH?
I mean, I have Bell, and I'm kind of mad because I haven't got to really use him since he came back for 1 week and they got traded, so he's been, and then they're gonna have another bye week. So, I mean, I have no choice but to be patient. But I think it's gonna be worth it. The offense, I think me and you were talking earlier today, T, as far as I think it's gonna be more of like a 50-50 split once he learns the playbook and gets acclimated to the offense. But I think it's going to be a good look for him because they have so many weapons, the field to open up for him. And Andy Reid's definitely going to use him. So, I mean, I'm hyped once the time comes. So, I guess just be patient. But I like the landing spot. I'd rather have him go there than the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, that's like one of the – when he got released, it's like anywhere is better.
Literally.
Yeah,
literally
legit.
literally every other team is better than where he went. So
It's crazy.
So, and this is one of probably the top 5 teams he could have went to.
Yeah,
I think.
so.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like obviously it sucks if you're a CEH owner. He takes a pretty big hit right there. But I feel like CEH, I was looking at his numbers, and he drafted him in the first round most likely of your drafts. He's got 98 total touches. He only has 1 touchdown on the year, so it's like he hasn't just been blown it out the water as it is. Obviously he's been pretty, utilized in the passing game and, rushing attack and stuff like that. But the touchdowns just haven't really been there for CEH. So I think he kind of goes from this low-end RB1, high-end RB2 to now these guys are both just middle-of-the-road RB2s. Because I feel like they're both, like I said, Dre said, we talked off air. And I do feel like it's going to be a running back by committee. I get it, Le'Veon Bell, they sign him. Obviously they're going to utilize him. I think he's a lot better than what he was doing down there in New York with Adam Gase. I think he's still got something left in the tank. So obviously they're going to utilize him. But CEH isn't going anywhere either. I mean, he hasn't done anything to lose his job. It's not like CEH wasn't doing good enough. So, yeah, I do think that this is going to be a running back by committee going forward. And it's kind of just who's going to be the one to fall in the end zone. Is it going to be Le'Veon Bell or is it going to be CEH? But, yeah, so CEH, for me, he loses that RB1 status, and he's kind of just like an RB2 going forward. I would still keep CEH, though. I'm not, trying to trade him or anything like that. Like I said, he's not going anywhere. He's still going to be a part of the offense.
These Le'Veon Bell highlights are crazy, too. I know.
Yeah. I really wanted him to go to the Steelers. I just felt like a reunion with the Steelers would have been nice. Maybe the Eagle – Michael saying the Eagle thing – maybe they just didn't want him. Too much bad blood. They burned the bridge. But I thought him going to back to Pittsburgh would have been nice. Just have him and Connor.
I just wanted to have a reason to have my Le'Veon Bell jersey again, to be honest. But
that would have been dope. I'm sure Big Ben would have been hyped.
Yeah, I don't think I think Antonio Brown left with way worse blood than that. But I was thinking with Andy Reid's crazy plays and all the things that he does, I could really see Le'Veon Bell lining up in the slot a bunch and being more of this really just pass heavy running back, and then kind of just have Clyde Edwards be the power back more almost
like a Chubb Hunt.
Yeah,
so having both of them on the field at the same time.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think I can't imagine they just put Le'Veon Bell as the workhorse back, because they put a lot. They like he's saying, they invested in Clyde Edwards, so. I'm curious to see, I feel like they line him up as a receiver a lot more than you would think.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
So if you have Le'Veon Bell, Mike, you just said you sent someone a trade offer, and you got Le'Veon Bell now. Yeah. So let's just say you have Le'Veon Bell like you do, Dre. Obviously, like I said, you can't use him now because he's got a quarantine for 1 week. Are you holding him, or are you trying to trade him maybe? Because someone might bite on the idea of Le'Veon Bell, he's on the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and this high-powered offense. So you might be able to flip him for something right now, or are you just kind of all right, I've went through the trenches with him of him not playing and being hurt and on the Jets. So now that he's on the Chiefs, I'm just going to hold him because the upside is there now.
I mean, I'll listen to any trade offers.
Yeah,
but I'm more apt to keep him. But if somebody, if someone reaches and sends something a little too friendly, I mean, I'll I'll take it. But I'm not gonna go and shop him though.
Yeah. I was telling Mike off air because he did like the trade, and I was like, okay, like I feel like if you have Le'Veon Bell, maybe you try to make a move for a more, because obviously it's going to be a running back by committee. Maybe you try to make a move for a more consistent running back, or somebody you know that's kind of going to be the guy.
Yeah, like move him for, you said Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor was just a name that came to my head. So it's like the Jonathan Taylor owner might just be like, oh, like he hasn't really produced. He hasn't done anything crazy. Like, oh, let me go get Le'Veon Bell because now he's on the cheap. Like he might be hyped for that, you know, and you might be able to pull that off. And I think I'd still rather have Jonathan Taylor rest of the season over Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, I mean, because it still is unknown versus like guys like Jonathan Taylor. You kind of have an idea of what they're going to be. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
and they're going to get the volume too.
Yeah, because you just don't know with Le'Veon Bell. By the way, I traded Marquise Brown, Zach Moss, and Russell Gage for Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
I see you.
So you
I don't
turn
know.
that trash into treasure is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
I like it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you. I don't do very many trades, so I feel like I did all right on that one.
This is new for me.
I feel like I didn't do bad.
Look, I think we all think that was a good idea.
But yeah, sure. I'm curious to see what his real role will be there. But they signed him for a reason, so I can't imagine he'd not be super involved. Oh, but we can move on
for sure
and try
and do these matchups.
Yeah,
what?
let's do It's time, baby. All right,
I haven't used that one in a while, so I had to do.
So we're gonna go starts, sits, like we always say. We do quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and then tight ends. So we'll start. We'll go with our starts for quarterbacks. Then we'll go into the sits for quarterbacks, running back starts. You know, that whole deal. So we'll start with quarterbacks. Like I said, for the first one, we got Matt Stafford. This is Tyler's start.
Yeah, this is my guy right here. I'm going with Matthew Stafford. He's coming off a bye. He's playing in Jacksonville against the Jaguars. I like this game because it's a 54-point over-under, so Vegas is predicting a somewhat of a high-scoring game between the Lions and the Jaguars right here. And Stafford's done pretty well, especially with Galladay coming back in weeks 2 and 3, and you get that extra week to prepare going against the Jaguars defense. We saw last week how Deshaun Watson lit the Jaguars defense up right here. The Jaguars defense, they're allowing a league worst 76% completion percentage, so that's pretty good for my guy Stafford over there passing the ball. And the Jaguars defense has given up the fourth most passing yards per game. So yeah, I love me some Matt Stafford. Kenny Galladay dialing him up, and maybe even another pass catcher later on in the episode might be one of my likes.
Ooh, I like it.
Dial up Matt Stafford.
Done.
Do you have my notebook?
I gave it to you.
Wait, the notebook?
All right, we can move on to your next one. Sorry.
I was like, by notebook, that looks like 17 pieces of paper stapled together.
Nope. Not that. The next start, so we can go on to the next start. Sorry about that. We got Dre's boy, Kirk Cousins. You're starting him this week, yeah?
Yeah, this is pretty easy. I wrote down just 4 words. One's like an abbreviation, but we'll count it as a word. Playing Atlanta. That's it. That's enough said. That's what I put. That's it. I mean, we're going to talk about a couple players that aren't Thielen, just to further prove. I mean, if we like a couple pass catchers, and we obviously like Kirk Cousins, he's the one throwing the ball. Yeah, I mean, the Falcons give it up like it's their job. I don't understand. If you've watched their games, they can't tackle, they can't defend. They have like third-string DBs everywhere. They're a mess. So,
yeah, Teddy Bridgewater was a good stream last week playing against the Falcons. I think that might just be a trend going forward. Like you can stream the quarterback against this Falcons defense because, like Dre said, they're pretty banged up, playing like practice squad guys. Yeah, and I think that Vikings at home should be a good matchup for them too. After that tough loss on the road in Seattle.
They're physically and mentally hurt. The Falcons.
That's where I put it.
I
found it.
Oh, Mike, I'm glad you found what you were looking for.
Oh my God, I put it in this drawer.
Why is everyone so fucking stupid?
Sorry, hold on one sec, boys. Listen, dude. Sometimes you take these notes and you
You got to crawl to him.
Yeah, you got to crawl to him. Okay, here we go. Jesus Christ. I run a podcast. All right, we got Ryan Fitzpatrick, which is my guy, my start for the week. There we go. Sorry about that. Listen, do I need to say anything more? He plays the New York Jets.
Seriously.
Can we just keep? That's all we need.
Dude,
Are you and Dre using the same notes or what?
Hey, dude, the same notes. We have the same note taker.
Honestly,
the same guy.
as I'm writing notes, I think about sometimes like how Dre's like, I wrote, he sucks. And I'm like, sometimes that's all you need to do.
Hey, you saw my Kenyan Drake notes that I said.
Yeah.
Notes are pretty funny.
What's it called? The Jets have allowed 8 touchdowns on the year to passing touchdowns. The third highest attempts per pass at.
What?
Jesus Christ. I'm so bad at taking these fucking notes.
I love it.
Start with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Listen, Jets are allowing 30 points per game on average. It's a lot of points. Listen, that's one of the highest in the league. If you're going to put 30 points up against the Jets, I could imagine Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to have a decent game. I'm predicting he's going to get a rushing touchdown this week, and that's all I need to say.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. He was one of the main waiver wire guys. He's actually QB7 on the year. So, and he's had a couple games. I want to say it was 24 or more points in 3 straight games. Like, don't quote me on that. I know it's 20-plus in 3 straight games. So, yeah, it's QB7 on the year.
Yeah, he slings that thing. That's it.
Yeah.
Catch.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, Mike, have another monster, dude.
I know.
Maybe too many
I'm doing
monsters.
too-
His vision's getting blurry. He's like, I can't see shit.
Kids, this is what happens when you have Marlboros, McDonald's, and monsters
Shut
all
up.
day.
Shut up.
Shut
up.
Okay, we're going to go.
The 3 M's.
The 3 M's to success.
All right, we'll move.
Monsters, Marlboros, and McDonald's.
For Mike.
We'll go on to the sits. You fucking faggots. We'll go on to the sits for the week. We'll start with Turbo Mick. Lots of words over there. Tyler Revelis. We got Carson Wentz.
God, go ahead, T. Go in on this freaking dude, man.
Yeah, I think Wentz was my sit last week as well. He actually put up a decent game. I'm surprised. On the road, I think it was on the road, right, in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Put up some decent numbers, actually, like I said, against the Steelers. I was pretty shocked. But I'm still going to sit Wentz again. I just don't trust him. He's at home against the Ravens. The Ravens' defense is pretty good, one of the better ones in the league. And here's Wentz stats on the year. He's got 6 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. He's thrown for 2 interceptions in 4 of the 5 games. So he's just out here just giving it up like Blair. We started saying that. He's giving it up like Blair, throwing interceptions, throwing multiple interceptions in 4 of the 5 games. He is only topped 260 passing yards once. I just don't like it. This Ravens secondary is pretty good. You got Marlon Humphreys, Marcus Peters, Jimmy Smith, and then you got some good linebackers. Patrick Queen, the rookie, he had a big game last week. And then you got Calais Campbell over there, that guy's just a monster. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a long day in the office for Wentz. I would be sitting Carson Wentz, especially with options like Mike's guy, Ryan Fitzpatrick, who is available on the waiver wire in a ton of leagues.
Go pick him up. Okay, we'll move on to the next guy here. This is Dre's guy. We got Drew Lock. Drew Lock's coming back, huh?
If he does come back, I don't like him. And if he doesn't come back, I don't like the Broncos QB. So whoever the fuck it is saying hack coach for the Broncos, I don't like. But I think it's just going to be the game flow. I feel like this is going to be a ball control, like slow paced game. I think it's going to, even on the Patriots side, it's going to be more of a Damian Harris, Cam Newton running back game. So I don't see a lot of points being scored in the game. So
I feel you. Sometimes you got to look at those game scripts, and that even helps. Just
I don't see it being like that Browns Steelers game. I think that's going to be more of a shootout. So I would try to get some stock in those players. But no, I don't really want anybody on the Broncos or Patriots, unless it's like a Damian Harris or like a running back.
Yeah, I think Drew Lock is supposed to come back. I was looking at the practice reports earlier. My phone is being a puto.
Get a better one. All right.
Yeah, but I think he's practiced the last 2 days, so Drew Lock should be scheduled to come back. But, yeah, like Dre said.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we can move on to my guy here. We got Matt Ryan. I know it's juicy. It's a juicy matchup, and I know I told you to start Matt Ryan last week. But listen, I've learned my lesson. With Julio Jones out, Matt Ryan has 11 points, 12 points, and 6.9 points with Julio Jones out. That is not good.
Caca.
That's pooper.
Poop.
I don't like it at all. So, yeah, I'm going to be, as long as Julio Jones is out, I'm fading Matt Ryan. Even in decent matchups, he's just not proven he's helpful. Like, I barely won this week, and if I would have had, like, any other quarterback, I probably would have been a lot safer, not had to rely on Jonnu Smith winning me my week. So, that being said, yeah, fade Matt Ryan this week. If Julio Jones comes in, ends up playing, which it doesn't seem as though, maybe reconsider, but I still don't like it until I'm proven otherwise.
Feel that.
You know what I'm saying, boys?
I feel you.
Yeah, he's one of those quarterbacks. I feel like he's not like a set it and forget it quarterback. He's kind of one where I always like to pair him up with another quarterback, and you can play the matchups. But like you said, I think without Julio Jones, it's just I don't know what it is. I think we forget sometimes that Matt Ryan is getting older as well. He's been in the league for, 15 years now? Something like that.
Yeah, he old.
It's a new era in the NFL. It is definitely a new era in the NFL. You got guys like, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Dak, Josh Allen, these older quarterbacks.
For some reason, Dak feels like older.
I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah, I feel bad too. But, okay, we can move on to running backs. On running backs we start. That's it for the quarterbacks. So we'll move on to the first one here. Whose is this? David Montgomery as a start.
Yeah, this is my guy right here, David Montgomery, and he's been my guy ever since he came into the league. I love this guy. I think he's talented. I just think the offense is not very good with Trubisky and Foles, and this offensive line is just not very good at all. But had a pretty good game for you last week. I think he got you like 19, 20 PPR points. One thing you like to see right here, he's playing against the Carolina Panthers, and they're one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. They allow the second highest yards per carry at 4.4 yards per carry. So even if this Bears offensive line isn't that good, the Panthers are just giving it up. And they just lost their starting defensive tackle, Kawan Short. He's going to be out for the season. So they were already bad as it is, and now they lose their starting defensive tackle. It's not like they're just magically going to get better now that one of their starters is out for the entire year. And then it was nice to see ever since Tariq Cohen went out to IR with a torn ACL or torn Achilles, can't remember which one it was. But yeah, Tariq Cohen out on IR. David Montgomery's been a lot more utilized the last 2 weeks in the passing game. He's had 14 targets the last 2 games, 10 receptions. So you like seeing that finally being utilized out of the backfield and getting some receptions as a true 3-down back. And then also Carolina has allowed the most receptions to running backs. So it's a good sign that my guy Montgomery is getting receptions because Carolina's giving it up on the ground. They're giving it up on the air.
They are just giving
Might as well
it
just
up.
call them the Carolina Blairs.
Hope Blair's watching.
I hope
We're going to be like, who's Blair?
It's an inside joke.
It's an
Listen.
inside joke, but
But
she
no,
would give
but
it
no
up.
joke.
Just know not to play them if they're giving up like Blair.
Start
don't.
David Montgomery.
Start David Montgomery
He's like, I'm just kidding, but seriously.
against the Carolina Blairs.
There we go.
The Blairthers.
The Blairthers.
All right.
Let's check out Ronald Jones' sick bod.
Dude.
What do you think?
Bro, check this out. So, they play the Packers, coach, right?
Yeah, coach.
The Packers have given up 7 touchdowns to starting running backs this season. So, you got to like that. Rojo's coming off 2 straight 100-yard games, averaging 5.8 yards per carry. Hasn't fallen into the end zone yet. So, I feel like if he can keep that efficiency up and just get into the end zone, he's going to get you top 20 easy numbers.
He going to be top tier, coach.
And they pass him the ball a good amount. Now, whether he catches a shit, a whole different story. But, he'll get his targets. Brady, they like opening up with him and letting him set the tone, which I do like. And you can tell he's getting a little bigger. So, and the Packers give it up. Not like the Carolina Blairthers, but
They do. But they do a little bit.
But they do. They practice it. They practice.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Keep that mouth open.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
Even if Fournette comes back, I feel like Ronald Jones hasn't done anything to warrant him losing touches. going
for
forward.
sure.
It's like-
He's
the one
earned
game that
touches.
he had a bad game is he fumbled, and that's when they brought in Fournette, and then Fournette had the big game, breaking off the 2 touchdowns. But yeah, as long as Ronald Jones doesn't fuck it up, I feel like he's and he looks good out there.
Yeah,
he's running good. He's running good.
Yeah, he run real good.
He should have had a touchdown last week. He had like that low catch on the ground and caught it and rolled into the end zone, but they called it incomplete and they whistled him down at the 1. So he should have actually had a receiving touchdown last week.
That's true. Also, oh yeah,
Yeah.
He's low key. He's nice.
All right, well, I'm going to move on to my guy. We got Alexander Mattison here. Dalvin Cook did not practice today, so he's looking like he's going to be out.
What did he slip?
He slipped, tripped, and fell on his dick. He fucking was holding. Actually, I do this thing where I pretend like I'll grab my inner thigh and I pretend like that's my wiener. And so that's basically what Alexander Mattison hurt. His like inner thigh. He was literally doing the joke I always do. Dalvin Cook. But so Dalvin Cook should be out. Falcons aren't that bad against the run. But if you've been holding on to Alexander Mattison this whole time, when the fuck else are you going to play him? This could be because they go on bye after this week, and then when they come back, Dalvin Cook should be good to go. So there's no other time you should play him than now. Even if Dalvin Cook is scheduled to play, I still think it's not a bad flex move because I think that if Dalvin Cook's going to come in, they're not going to just like fully utilize him. I think they're going to like work him in as like almost like a 50-50 thing. Or give him limited carries if he does play, which I don't think he will. But I like Alexander Mattison.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Vikings have a bye next week, so there's no reason for them to rush back their
that's what I said.
$63 million man.
Yeah, enough said, honestly. Undershirt.
Yeah. We'll go on to our next guy here.
Let's do it.
We got Myles Gaskin.
Myles Gaskin. Killed Dre's 49ers, whacked them. Bro, what about that Niner
my
game?
God.
Jimmy G
Well,
just
if you don't know, I'm the Dolphins fan here. Dre's a Niner fan. Anthony's a Dolphins fan as well. He's not here. But, yeah.
Man.
And Dre and my boy Art, they were talking so much shit. You talk about all this bread, and then
more art. But I talk shit, but not as much as Art did.
But then, I was surprised of the beating the Dolphins put on the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. I'll grant this, the 49ers defense is pretty banged up, and they're one of the more injury-riddled teams in the NFL.
Listen,
but
the 49ers are hurting for a squirting.
yeah. But with that being said, last week I said sit Gaskins. I was wrong on that. I thought the 49ers defense, Miami traveling East Coast to West Coast. The Niners defense still one of the better ones in the league, even though they've got some injuries. They were pretty stingy against pass-catching running backs, the San Francisco 49ers were. So I didn't think it was a good game script for Gaskin. But he proved me wrong. This week he's got a good matchup at home against the Jets. He had 21 touches last week, and he's actually had 13 or more touches every single week. And the thing that you like to see is, we kept talking about it, especially during the waiver wire or just in the matchups, that he's putting up the production. He's getting the rushes. He's getting a ton of targets. I think he's top 10 in terms of receptions, routes run, targets, receiving yards for the running back position. So he's getting all the usage in terms of rushing and receiving. He just wasn't getting any touchdowns. That was Jordan Howard. He would come in and snake the 1-yard touchdown. Last week, Jordan Howard was a healthy scratch. He didn't play. So finally we got to see Gaskins get the carry from the 1-yard line. He gets you that touchdown. So he puts up some good numbers for you right there. Just some more things here on Gaskin why I like him. The Jets have given up the second most rushing touchdowns. The Dolphins are minus 9.5, so Vegas is predicting them to just blow them out. He's played 60 or more % of the snaps every single game. You like seeing that. And then hashtag interesting stat. He has 17 missed tackles forced, Myles Gaskin does, and that's tied third most in the NFL with Zeke, Derrick Henry, and Devin Singletary. So my guy out here is making plays. He's making people miss. He's getting the usage. He's getting the snaps. Start Myles Gaskin.
It's weird,
There
dude.
you
You
go.
picked a Dolphins player, huh? Weird, dude.
We made him do it. He
Weird.
really didn't want to, right?
This is the guy who picked all fucking Steelers last week.
Yeah, you're right. Well, how many Steelers players I got this week?
Ooh, this is a
Imagine they're on bye.
perfect segue, I'm sure.
Just kidding. Okay, we can move on
Speaking of
to
Steelers players,
the Pittsburgh Steelers running back James Conner.
Yeah.
That's Andre's start for the week.
Yeah, so this is pretty much the opposite of what I was saying with Drew Lock. I feel like this is going to be a shootout. And, I mean, he's the bell cow. He's going to get volume, which is king. He's coming off of a bad game, 15 carries, 44 yards, 2.9 yards a carry, still scored. So I think with like I said, me thinking it's going to be a shootout, I think he falls into the end zone once, maybe twice.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, Pittsburgh put up 30 points for the first time, over 30 points for the first time in like 40 games or something like that.
Wow. Damn, that's crazy.
So the offense is clicking, you know?
Yeah, I think he's going to have himself a doozy, as they say.
I like it. I like James Conner this week. That's a nice one. All right, we can move on to my guy. Here we got Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor. They play the Bengals. Bengals are second worst against rushing yards against. They average 5.2 yards per attempt against the Bengals. I don't know why I can't fucking talk. The Bengals aren't good, okay? Jonathan Taylor's due for a big week, okay? I'm fucking calling it right now. Put Jonathan Taylor in. Start him. Don't sit him. He's looking hot like Hansel, all right? Say less.
This is what Mike, when he's trying to explain why.
Oh, dude, that's weird.
Darrel. Hell,
start motherfucker Jonathan Tate. Start him.
Well, it's not my fault. I gotta fucking look through my notes, change the angles, adjust the audio, write down the timestamps of all this,
and
all
then
at the same time,
and then drink
and
a
try
monster,
and make a fucking
and drink a monster, and drink.
Try and make a competent thought. Okay.
I think you need a cigarette, dude. Light one up in here, dude. We'll let you one time.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
because you know what's gonna happen. Just
my
gonna get
brain
the ball
just
rolling.
sparked.
Start Jonathan Taylor is what Mike's trying to say.
Start him. Don't sit him. Yeah. Do it.
Okay, Couch.
Do it. Let's go to some of the guys that we're trying to fade or we don't like their matchups for the running back position.
That's easy, Coach.
And I'll start this one off right here. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Man, I love being a turtle. You guys ever heard that? I say that all the time, and people are like,
No, where's that from?
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Man, I love being a turtle.
I love being a turtle. Anyways, I was a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan when I was growing up. I'm nerding out right now.
I talked to Michelangelo.
Yeah.
He says you're a bitch.
Yeah, thanks. Anyways, yeah, so I said last week, I'll say it again this week, I'm just avoiding the Ravens running backs. This is just a mess over there. I mean, if I told you a running back got 19 carries, 116 yards, 3 receptions, and 21 yards, even if he didn't fall in the end zone, that would be a good game, because especially in PPR, it'd give you like 16, 17 points right there. But now if I told you you had to split all those numbers 3 ways, you would not want to start any one of those running backs. So I guess the main one here is Mark Ingram. The people have most, and people are throwing into the lineups. I just don't like this situation right here. The snaps last week, J.K. Dobbins, 18 snaps. Mark Ingram, 19. And you actually had Gus Edwards play the most snaps. He played 25. I just feel like none of these guys have any real value until, and I'm not saying I hope anyone gets hurt, but I think the only way any one of these guys has value is if someone gets hurt or someone gets COVID and they have to miss, because it really is a throuple of running backs over there. And then just on top of that, the Eagles' run defense has been pretty stout. They've only allowed over 70 rushing yards to the running backs one time in 5 games this season. So if they're not going to get over 70 yards, and then you got to divide that by 3, I just don't like it. It's just a mess over there.
Yeah, it's a little stinky over there.
I said it before. None of these guys are even the best running back on their team. That's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Are you laughing at my ad lib?
Yeah.
For Taylor or for T-Rev?
Yeah.
T-Rev talked and I just ad lib for you, but
yeah, you were like a reverse hype man. No, you were like a hype man.
Yeah, it was just I was very calm.
Yeah.
I was a
you
calm,
were like a whisper.
hype,
You were like a whisper man.
I was like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's a good fact. Yo,
like,
give him those facts.
Knowledge bomb.
Yeah, knowledge bomb. Drop it. Drop that fucking knowledge bomb. Okay, we can move on to
fire.
we can move on to
this is easy.
Drake.
Man. Drake
with all them laughing is like so accurate for this season.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm just being clear cut and concise today, but he fucking sucks, man. He had that one was he have 2 touchdowns? I don't know. I've never been a Drake fan. They like Chase Edmonds. Kyler Murray gets a lot of love.
With no passing upside, Kenyan Drake is just not the same guy.
Yeah, it's crazy because you saw that last year. I mean, he looked good, when he went to the Cardinals once he got the playbook down. But fuck, no, he doesn't look like the same dude like at all. So
No.
yeah, I don't know. I don't like him.
I think it's this is like the first week where you can officially we can all be on the same page and be like, listen, if you sit Kenyan Drake, don't feel bad about it, because I have him in a couple leagues and I'm like, all right, dude, I'm so down to not play this fool anymore.
Yeah, he's just,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because all he's doing now is pissing you off. Because
yeah, truly,
he's not doing shit.
Yeah, so you can because he's had the problem is he's had good matchups and he's not producing. It's not like he's had these terrible we'll just wait until he plays no, he's played not good rush defenses and he just fucking putting his dick in the sand.
Yeah, he sucked against Carolina, and they let you just run past them, and he's like, nah, I'm good. I want to stand and talk.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah, sit him, spit on him.
Is it so? Where would you rate Kenyan Drake with all the injuries to running backs, and got some on buys this week? Is he still a low end RB2, or is he just a?
No, I think he's
because he still has the 6th most rushing attempts at 85. He hasn't done anything with them. He's only going for 3.7 yards per carry. But you cannot deny the volume he's getting. I think a lot of times too is he gets snaked at the goal line by Kyler Murray. Yeah,
Chase Edmonds just has he has 2 touchdowns of at least 20 yards already. Kenyan Drake doesn't have one yet.
Yeah, Kenyan Drake has 0 big runs, which is 15 or 20, I think it's 15 plus.
Yeah, 15 runs. Plus.
He's got 0 of those so far on 85 carries, which is crazy because that's kind of what Drake is. He is a big guy.
I feel you. When there's volume, I get what you're saying, but when it comes down to it, is he's not producing with the volume. You can have all the volume you want. You could give me the ball fucking 90 times.
You're going to get 90 yards.
And if I just run into my fucking offensive line's ass, I'm not going to get any fucking where. So I don't know.
No good.
Yeah. I've given him so many chances. I've had him in so many leagues. I'm super down to sit him. I agree with you, Dre.
Chris's.
Get him out of here.
You're out of here.
You're out of here. Okay, we can move on to my guy, Phillip Lindsay here. So we all know Melvin Gordon got a DUI. Okay. Phillip Lindsay is supposed to come back, but I'm not super hyped on playing him. They play the Patriots. The Patriots are the 8th best on yards allowed. The game script isn't good. They're not going to be ahead. The Broncos are not going to be ahead in this game. So, I don't think so. So, that being said, they're not going to be running the ball. They're going to be throwing it like crazy. I think there's going to be a lot of interceptions. I can't imagine Phillip Lindsay being really utilized in a big way. I'm expecting a dud game. And guess how many rushing touchdowns the Patriots have allowed?
1.
God damn it.
Is it 1?
Yes, it's 1.
Dude, that's a lucky guess. That's all, man.
But, that's pretty good to me.
For sure.
And that's going to sway me away from starting him. So, yeah. Fade Phillip Lindsay.
If he's available in some leagues, because I know he got dropped in one of my leagues. I went to go put a bid on him. Someone outbid me for him. But if he's on your waiver wire right now, obviously the waiver's probably passed unless they go through tonight for some people. But by the time you're listening to this, it should be Friday. So, yeah, the waiver should have gone through. If he's on the waiver wire, go grab him. Because, like you said, the next guy we're going to talk about, for my guy to sit, I think we're just staying on the same team over here.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon, like he said, like Mike said, he got a DUI, so we're not sure if he's going to get some type of suspension from the NFL or if the team is going to, punish him for a game or whatever going forward. But, yeah, just get Phillip Lindsay. If he's on the waiver wire, pick him up. Don't start him like Mike said, but at least go get him and have him on your team.
Yeah,
because this is going to be a running back by committee going forward now that Phillip Lindsay is back. But, yeah, I agree with Mike here. I want nothing to do with any of these Bronco running backs. Pretty much just basically what everything Mike said right there. The Patriots are pretty tough against running backs. So, yeah, he's got the DUI. We still don't know if he's going to get, like I said, he's going to get disciplined. Is he going to play? He practiced in full today. So we'll just see how things go. But, yeah, the situation's murky there. with Lindsay coming back and then also the DUI, I want nothing to do with it.
How do you get a DUI in COVID?
Just it was chasing him. He was driving away from it. That's what I would have. Or he was high.
Shit, I was high when I took that DUI test.
Well,
You can't. That's inconclusive.
I'm fucking past that test.
Okay, we can move on to Antonio Gibson. This is your sit here,
Yeah, he's just on a
Andre.
bad team. I mean, they're playing the Giants. I don't trust Kyle Allen. I feel like if he were to do well, maybe in the receiving game because they find ways to get him open. But yeah, I don't see him doing. I just don't see him doing too well. I mean, I think it's just more. I think the Redskins are just ass. I mean, I know.
You're right though. Like the game script, it's not. You're not gonna see.
I think this game's gonna be boring as
super
fuck.
ahead. Yeah, that's. I mean,
I could see them doing that, like finding open space, but I just, which I guess is part of being a running back, but still, I just don't see him finding holes and doing too well. I feel like it's gonna be more like a committee, like McKissick will get some love also. They'll throw him in there. I think it's just the Redskins I don't like, and I like them. They're my second favorite team. I just
don't like your face. Is there anything I can do about it? No. I just don't like your face.
Nope.
Something about your face, no.
That's gonna be no from Dre, huh? Okay, we can move on to the next guy. Yeah. I put Darrel Henderson, but this kind of goes for all of the Rams running backs, to be honest.
He's coming off a monster game, though.
Yeah, he's coming off a monster game, but I will say this. Do you know what his average yards per carry was?
I do not.
It was 2.5 yards.
That's not good.
Not very good. You know what Cam Akers was? So listen, it's like, yes, Darrel Henderson he got 15 attempts, but for only 38 yards. He hit the end, found the end zone. He had some receiving yardage, but Cam Akers had 9 attempts for 61 yards. He had 6.8 yards per carry. I can't imagine they draft this rookie and then they look at his yards per carry and he was very used. I don't know. I just can't see. It's just a mess. That's what I wrote down. It's a mess.
This is another thruple.
Yeah.
If you have 3, you don't have 1.
Yeah, I just want to fade all these guys because Malcolm Brown still got 8 attempts on there too. He had for less yardage, it was 30 yards, but it still is like all these guys are getting used. It's a 3-headed backfield. It could be Darrel Henderson had a good game last week, but it could be a different guy this week. You know what I mean?
100%, I agree.
So that's why I'm just kind of fading him in this matchup here. So that's why.
Would you be trying to trade Darrel Henderson because he has had 3 good games out of the 5 weeks? Obviously, Cam Akers was out for a couple of those games, but he's coming off the 2 touchdown game. Would you be trying to move him then, potentially to get like a more stable guy? Like, could you try to?
Yeah.
I don't know why Jonathan Taylor keeps popping in my head. I think it's just because he hasn't done anything yet to blow you away.
Right. He's a guy.
But it's like that's a guy where he's going to get the volume. He's going to get a lot of carries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But would you be trying to move Darrel Henderson then, or are you just trying to hold on to him?
Oh, I would try to dish him to anybody who wanted him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Because I still think Cam Akers is still recovering from the injury and whatnot. I do still have belief in Cam Akers. You can make fun of me if you want, but
all right. What is this? Would you rather have Darrel Henderson or Ronald Jones?
Ronald Jones. And that's coming from a guy who hates Bucs running backs.
Yeah.
That's easy too.
Darrel Henderson or James Robinson?
James Robinson.
James Robinson. Yeah.
James Robinson. Yes. Darrel Henderson or David Johnson?
David Johnson.
Yeah. David Johnson.
That one's tough for me right there.
And by the way, yeah.
Let's do one more. Darrel Henderson or Myles Gaskin.
God damn it. Myles Gaskin.
Myles Gaskin. All right, that was an easy one.
Yeah.
All right, one more.
Okay.
Right, Darrel Henderson or Devin Singletary?
Ooh.
Devin
Singletary, yeah.
So pretty much, Darrel Henderson, you are the weakest link.
So you don't like him. Okay.
You are not it.
I think.
All right, one more. Darrel Henderson or Mark Ingram?
Darrell Henderson.
Give me Darrel Henderson.
Yeah. God damn.
Yeah,
You're
I
really
don't-
forcing my hand with that one, T.
All right, my bad. I'm just kind of curious because I feel like it is tricky because he's had some good games, but then it's like you said, week 1 it was Malcolm Brown, then Darrell Henderson, week 2 good
Cam,
games.
the only
then
reason
week
Cam Akers,
4 nothing, then week 5 is Darrell Henderson, but
Bro.
Cam Akers looked good. So now this week going forward, could we see Cam Akers be the guy who gets the hot hand and he has a good game?
he has almost 7 yards per carry. You're not gonna fucking. I know it's a small amount of attempts, but it's still fucking good.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna look at that and not. I don't know.
Yeah,
If I
think
Rams
Malcolm
coach,
Brown eventually gets phased out of this throuple, and it'll be
definitely
Darrell
agree.
Henderson and Akers going forward.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree. Okay. Let's go here to our wide receivers. We'll move on to the starts for the wide receivers. Right here we got, for our first one, Mecole Hardman. Start Mecole Hardman, huh?
Yeah, so Mecole Hardman, is it Mecole or Mecole?
I say Mecole because if I say Mecole, it sounds like I'm saying Nicole.
Yeah.
Yes, Nicole.
So we'll start Mecole Hardman. I do like him right here. We kind of touched him on the waiver wire. You know, he had 2 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. That's kind of what he is, a boom guy. But the reason why I like him even more is that he played a season-high 71% of the snaps last week. That was largely due to the fact that Sammy Watkins left the game with a hamstring injury. The reports are that Sammy Watkins is expect to, quote-unquote, miss a couple of weeks. So that just should mean more opportunities, more snaps for Mecole Hardman going forward. He actually ran 18 out of 22 pass plays. He ran a route on 18 of the 22 pass plays once Sammy Watkins left the game. So he was heavily utilized, and he was out there a ton. And then just some good numbers right here. Mecole Hardman and even Tyreek Hill, they both line up in the slot about 58% of the time. This is good for both of them, Mecole Hardman and Tyreek Hill. Obviously, you're starting Tyreek Hill, but he could have a monster game. The Bills struggle against guarding the slot wide receivers. They've allowed the second most receptions to the slot wide receiver, and they've allowed the most yards after the catch to the slot wide receiver position. When you think about Tyreek Hill, you think about Mecole Hardman. These guys are, players where you just throw them the ball and they're so fast and shifty that they could take a screen pass 60 yards to the house, or they
Burners.
can, they're burners. So yeah, I do like Mecole Hardman. He's a high risk, high reward guy, but if he's going to see more snaps and he lines up in the slot, and this is where the Bills struggle and they're just giving it up like Blair, as we say, to the slot receivers, I'm willing to take that gamble that Mecole Hardman will have a boom game this week. So yeah, he'll definitely be in all my lineups in the leagues that I have him. Be a good DFS play too if you're doing DFS.
I like it. Mecole Hardman. All right, we can move on to the next one. We got Preston Williams.
I just realized I've been picking your guys' team's players. This is Connor and then your boy.
Seriously. Yeah, what do you have a crush on our teams?
Dude, I mean, my team got crushed by his team, if that's what you meant. But no, I mean, Preston Williams. I know we talked about him a couple of weeks ago when we were like, he doesn't look good. Just he's still kind of recovering from the ACL. Like, give him some time. I'd read Chan Gailey said he wanted to get him, more implemented into the offense. It showed. He out-yarded his total season stats previously to last game in one game. So, I mean, he had like 89 yards, something like that. 90s, I don't even know, something low. But he didn't have 100.
Yeah.
Four catches, 106 yards. He was torching us. I don't know why he didn't get more love. I want to say the first pass play of the game was to him for like 40-something yards. He looked good. He looked like he was, fully healthy now. I expect them to keep slanging it. Fitzmagic's the man. I mean, like you said, he's a number 7 QB. They're playing the Jets. I mean, what else?
What more could you ask for?
I mean, fuck. It's Christmas time.
It's Christmas time.
Yeah, he looked
time
good.
to pray, Preston Williams.
I just hope the Dolphins don't have a letdown game after a big win on the road. Yeah. But I think Flores is the kind of coach where he won't let that happen. Hopefully.
Like some sort of expectations now.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
I mean, Fitzmagic, and you know how Fitzmagic is. Like, he's a locker room guy. They all love him there. So as long as they can keep slinging that thing, and like you said, Gaskins can catch out of the backfield.
It's the Jets.
Yeah, and it's
Say
the Jets.
less.
Yeah,
it's the goddamn Jets.
Goddamn Jets.
They don't even want to freaking win.
Got to clip that.
Yeah, the goddamn Jets. Write that down. Goddamn Jets. Goddamn.
So yeah, that's why I like your boy.
Very good. I like it. We'll move on to my guy here, Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson's had a couple bad games since he blew up and had his 175-yard game. But I will say they're playing the Falcons. The Falcons have given up the not the most yards, second most, but not by a lot. The Falcons are right there with you. The secondary is very bad in Atlanta, okay? And with Dalvin Cook being out, I think it only helps Justin Jefferson because I don't think Alexander Madison's going to get all the reps that Dalvin Cook got. I think it's going to be more balanced, and they're going to throw it to the receivers more. So I can imagine Justin Jefferson having a pretty decent game this week, a shootout to high over-under. Send it, baby. I like it.
Zing. I like it.
Zinger.
I like it.
Anything else you guys think?
I mean, yeah, like Dre. I mean, that was Dre's quarterback that he liked, and he's got to throw the ball to somebody. And if Thielen obviously is the
can't catch it all.
Thielen's actually the wide receiver 1 right now. Did you know that? That's crazy.
Yeah, he's
that's horny.
He's pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, Thielen's obviously gonna do his thing, but Justin Jefferson. I know last week wasn't a big game. He was a start first last week as well. But previous to that, back-to-back 100+ yard games. So yeah, I think outside of Thielen, he's got to throw the ball to somebody. And, Justin Jefferson is the number 2 in this offense. And we've just seen how good he is, the talented rookie out of LSU.
These damn dances they be doing.
These damn dances. All
So
right,
we
we
dancing
can. Oops.
in the touchdown when he scores points for your fantasy team.
That's right.
We'll
Dancing.
move on to the next start. We got Laviska Shenault.
Yeah, we'll go to another talented rookie over here. Now, I wasn't too hyped on him when he came into the league out of the draft. I thought he was more of kind of just a gadget guy, like a Cordero Patterson. But so far, so good. Laviska Shenault Jr., he's looking good right now. He was one of our waiver wire target guys. I said when we did the episode, if there was a receiver, I told you there was a receiver who's a top 30 receiver in PPR leagues, and he's on the waiver wire, you should probably go get him, right? And he was available in a ton of leagues. So, yeah, hopefully you listened, you went out and got him. If not, and he's still on your waiver wire, go out and get him. Even if you're not starting him, it's always good to have depth on your position. Like I said, he's a top 30 wide receiver right now in PPR. But 5 or more receptions in 3 straight weeks, so you like seeing that. 10 or more PPR points in 4 of the 5 games. So it's kind of putting up like a safe floor for you week in and week out. He's tied with Keelan Cole for 28 targets. That is the most on the team. And then also DJ Chark did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. He's got an ankle injury, so DJ Chark might miss this game. If DJ Chark is out, then obviously that's,
fire him up.
Yeah, that's the number 1 receiver for the Jags. Then I would just assume they would even lean on Laviska Shenault more. His targets have gone up week in week, each week. I think it's like 6, 6, and 8 the last 3 weeks. So, yeah, like I said, especially if DJ Chark doesn't play, dial up Laviska Shenault. He's a good flex play.
Yeah.
I like it.
I love Laviska Shenault.
Laviska Shenault. We can move on to Brandon Ayuk.
Hadouken!
That's it. I just wanted to hear that.
Andre.
I don't even have anything to say. Nah.
Andre's saying to start Brandon Ayuk. Do you think it's because the Niners are going to be trailing?
No, I mean, what I like his upside is before the last game where they were just getting the break speed out of him, he had 4 carries for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns. So his 2 touchdowns were actually on the ground. And I mean, he's like a little Robert Woods. He's out there getting chunk plays. They're using his versatility. I think he's going to get, utilized more in the pass game. And, I mean, the Niners need to get back on track with their offense. So I think just total yards and touchdown, I think he can get you like that 12, 13, falls into the end zone. It's a really good day. But I think just his combination of rushing yards and receiving yards makes him, a sneaky play.
Sneaky little snag.
Yeah, sneaky. Yeah. He had double digit fantasy points the last 2 games going into the Dolphins game where they got the break speed off of him. And then no one really did well, so
Yeah.
yeah. That's why.
Pero okay, play him, fool.
That's right.
Okay, we can move on to our wide receiver sits for NFL Week 6.
What about your last guy?
Oh, whoops. You're right. We're talking my last guy for my starts here. We got Jamison Crowder.
Yeah.
Someone should give me Adderall before we start recording the podcast. Apparently, I need it. Jamison Crowder, though, big fan. I was almost gonna fade Jamison Crowder because I thought he's going up against Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. I said that right? Xavier Howard, whatever.
Xavier Howard,
yeah. But Jamison Crowder does a little thing called lines up in the slot, baby. 74% of the time. It should be a chasing game because the Jets are the goddamn Jets. And so, that being said, fucking feed Jamison Crowder over and over again. No more Le'Veon Bell. They have nobody left. Who are they going to throw it to?
Nobody.
So if you're in a PPR league, you better start Jamison Crowder, yeah.
I think you start him in all leagues. I mean, he's at over 100. He's only played 3 games because he missed weeks 2 and weeks 3 with the hammy injury. I just got to say this because this was, I'm just humble bragging over here. This is one of my guys I said to go out and get. But he's at 100 yards in every single game. And I think it is because, there's just nobody to throw the ball to. I mean, Denzel Mims still on IR. Brashard Perryman has yet to do anything. I think he's still banged up. Chris Herndon is just –
yeah, who are you going to play? Braxton
People keep
Berrios?
trying to make it a thing, and it's just not. Now you lose arguably the second best pass catcher on the Jets, Le'Veon Bell, when they released him. He literally is the entire offense. And like Mike said, he's going to be lining up in the slot so he escapes these I want to say these elite corners the Dolphins have. They're paying him – both those guys 12, 13, 14 million
Top
plus
dollar
a year.
here.
Yeah, they're playing those corners top dollar to shut down the guys on the outside. But like you said, luckily for Jamison Crowder, he lines up in the slot and dial him up.
Yeah, just wanted to say, I almost put him on my sit list, and then I realized I did some more research, and I was like, yeah. But speaking of sit list, who we're telling you to sit in week 6, we'll go on to. I put Travis Fulgham in here, the guy who had a huge game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we put him in here as a sit. Oh, why?
Yeah, I put down I just don't like any of the Eagle receivers this week. I put Travis Fulgham because, he was kind of the hot waiver wire ad. After that, was it 10 catches, 152 yards, or something like that? Yeah. Big game for Travis Fulgham. I mean, good for him, especially against the Steelers defense, which is pretty good. But, yeah, I don't like Carson Wentz. So if I don't like Carson Wentz, ipso facto, I'm not going to like any of these receivers. We still don't know what's up with Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey, if they're going to come back. They're still banged up. They may play. They may not. But to me, Travis Fulgham is like the 5th-string receiver, because like I said, you still have Alshon. You still have Deshaun. You still have John Hightower, the other rookie. You still have Rager, who's going to come back eventually. So it's like Fulgham, to me, is the 5th-string receiver on this team. Now he gets to face off against Marlon Humphreys, Marcus Peters. These guys are like all-pro defensive backs. I just don't like it. I don't think that he's primed to have another big game. The Ravens, they've only allowed 2 touchdowns to wide receivers all season long in the 5 weeks, and that was back in week 3 against the Chiefs. Obviously, when you got Mahomes and these Chiefs receivers, they're going to put up some points. But last week I said to fade the Bengals receivers because they were going against the Ravens, and they pretty much shut down Burrow and all the Bengals wide receivers to a minimum. So I would expect the same for this week, and these Eagle receivers, I'm fading all of them.
Gross.
Zing.
Eagles receivers. Okay, we can move on to the next one. We got Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman plays for the New England Patriots. He's about 5'7".
I mean, we've talked about this game enough. I mean, it's just game script. I think it's going to be has really nothing to do with. I mean, Cam Newton is back, and him and Edelman did have a good connection. But I just think it's going to be ball control run game. I just think it's going to be a slow, boring game. I just don't see that many, especially on the receiver side. I don't see either team having, I think the winning team doesn't even get to 20 points. So that's why I'm fading him for that reason alone. Just
so you bet the under, huh?
I would take the under in this. I would rather have Cam Newton or a running back than the receivers. I just don't. And they're going to be easy to lock up. Other than Edelman, I mean, you have N'Keal Harry, but they can easily just focus on him and make him throw it elsewhere anyway.
Yeah.
So, just an ugly game through and through. Real football, fantasy football, football. Any other foot soccer, rugby ball?
Foosball.
Foosball.
Foosball. Yeah.
he don't do it for me, Coach.
All right, so this one you guys might get mad at me for saying, but I said sit Terry McLaurin.
Scary Terry?
Sit Scary Terry. Okay, they're playing the Giants. There's this guy named James Bradbury on the Giants. He's shut down guys like, let me give you an example. Allen Robinson gets 9 targets, right?
Yep.
Goes up against James Bradbury. He only caught 3 for 33 yards.
Okay.
No touchdown. How about Robert Woods?
Bobby Trees.
Bobby Trees only against James Bradbury. 6 for 36 on 9 attempts. That's not good.
So he be locking.
So he'd be locking some guys down. As bad as his Giants are, if you actually look at some of their scores, they're only holding other teams are only scoring like 17 points against them in matchups like this. So I definitely think that you can fade Terry McLaurin in this matchup if you have another option. It's kind of like a bold take, but I'm sticking with it.
Do it.
Interesting stats. You know what I'm saying?
Hashtag.
We can move on to our next one here. We got DJ Moore.
Some more what?
Some more of that ass.
He needs to put up some more points for your fantasy team.
It was alley-oop. He caught what I was putting down.
For where you drafted him.
Whoa.
Let me talk about the wide receiver 2 on the Carolina Panthers.
Oh. Hey, Shaquille, we need some icy hot for that fucking burn.
Nice. Yeah, I was not the biggest DJ Moore fan coming into the season. It wasn't so much DJ Moore as just, I don't know, Teddy Bridgewater I wasn't really sold on, and it's a new offense. You just didn't know how it was going to go, and I don't think any of us outside of Mike over there really expected the emergence of Robbie Anderson to come out and kind of blow up. But in terms of targets, Robbie Anderson is the one who's seen all the targets. He has eight or more targets in 4 of the 5 games, and he's got 10 or more targets, Robbie Anderson does, in 3 of the 5 games. Now, on the flip side, DJ Moore has 1 game on the season with 10 or more targets, and he has 3 games with 6 targets or less. So, for whatever reason, Teddy Bridgewater in this offense, it's running through Robbie Anderson. It's not running through DJ Moore. The touchdown upside has never really been there for DJ Moore. I mean, I know he breaks off the big touchdown run for you last week, but he kind of caught like a little out or just ran down the sideline.
He played the Falcons.
Yeah, he played the Falcons. But he's had 3 games under 10 PPR points for a guy who I felt was kind of like a PPR guy. You know, I thought he had a safer floor in PPR. But yeah, in 3 of his games, he's been under 10 points. And then it's just a tough matchup. You know, Teddy Bridgewater would be a fade if you were to start him. I know we didn't throw him in the quarterbacks, but if I had Teddy Bridgewater, I would not be playing him in this matchup against the Bears. The Bears have been really tough against quarterbacks. The Bears have allowed only 4 passing touchdowns through 5 games. That is the fewest in the NFL, and the Bears have allowed the 10th fewest passing yards per game to the NFL. So if they're going to shut down Teddy Bridgewater and kind of limit his upside, I don't like the number 2 option for that quarterback. And the number 2 option to me is DJ Moore, so yeah, I'd be fading DJ Moore.
And that's a hot take. Ooh. Did that take just come out of the oven? Because that shit was fucking hot.
That was good. I like that one.
The Shaq one was good, too. You're on fire, right?
Bro,
Hey, funny. He can't find his fucking notes, but he could give us some goddamn hot analogies.
Hey, listen.
His fucking analogies to
Listen,
heat
I
are
had to
good.
make up for early on in the podcast.
Dude, that's what we have you here for, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
You're the
dude.
tech guy. You're the comic relief.
I'm the fucking.
You're not the note guy, dude.
I'm the guy with the little pee-pee.
The Notebook. Yeah, that too. That's why he called you Little Dicky, bro. See,
Yeah,
it all
they call
lines
you
up.
Small cock. Hey, look, it's Turbo McSmall Dick.
That's the name. You dumb fuck.
All right, let's move on to the next one here. We got T.Y. Disappointing.
Hilton. Oh, this
Yeah,
this
T.Y. Hilton is what we like to say. Grouse.
just disgusting. Disgusting.
Explain yourself. What's happening? Is Phillip Rivers just have cancer or something? What's going on?
Dude, I don't know, Coach. He's just not good anymore. He doesn't break any big plays. Last week was his first time getting double-digit targets. I mean, he only had 13 catches going into last week. Never over 55 yards. His best game was last game, 6 catches for 69 yards. That's not even a good game. Phillip Rivers sucks. The offense doesn't look good. I mean, the Bengals aren't very good, but that's what they're playing, right? The Bengals? They're on drugs.
Yeah, they're playing the Bengals. They're at home against Cincy.
Maybe he breaks out, but you know what? He's broken my trust. I'm not playing him. I'd rather like we said, I'd rather have him on the bench and be right than put him in and be wrong, because I think he sucks.
Yeah, yeah, he's like you're saying, he just burns your trust.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, you gave him a chance. You said, Ty, get out there. Listen, man, you can't get him every week. Get him this week.
Yeah,
we got you. Well, you did that fucking 3 too many times.
Yeah.
All right? And it's time to sit on that fucking bench and warm that shit up.
Yep. Even with all these damn injuries on their team, they just...
Yeah. Michael Pittman Jr. goes down. Paris Campbell goes down. You're like, oh, sick. This is T.Y. Hilton's time to shine.
Man.
I think it's just more of Phillip Rivers is just washed up.
No, that's what I agree with you as well.
He needs Andrew Luck back.
Yeah, we said
give Phillip Rivers the best
last
O-line.
time. I think it's been 15 games now since Andrew Luck has retired, and T.Y. Hilton has failed to top 90 yards in any single game since Andrew Luck has retired.
How about the Colts wait to have a shitty quarterback to get a good O-line? Andrew Luck literally retired because he was getting hurt so much. They're like, fuck, we got to fix this O-line.
Jameis Winston would be over there throwing 25 picks at least on the Colts. At least 25
but I'd rather
picks.
have that because he'd throw the
No,
ball
for
70
sure.
times in a game.
Hey, T.Y. Hilton would probably be good. So
Yeah. Okay, we can move on to the next one here. We got Golden Tater. Golden Tater is one of those guys where it doesn't seem like he exists.
Suck.
Yeah, he's not really been doing much for you. I think you can definitely fade him this week. Going up against Washington. Washington's defense has actually been pretty decent this year.
Yeah, they're sneaky. They're front seven.
Yeah. So I think you can fade. I don't know if you guys want to elaborate more on the Golden Tater one.
I mean, he's been held for a guy who's throughout his career been known as a PPR guy. I mean, for so many years, Golden Tate was a 90-plus catch guy, 1,000-yard guy. He's a PPR machine. For a guy who's been known as a PPR machine, like I said, for his whole career, he's been held to under 10 PPR points in every single game he's played. Welcome to the waiver wire, Golden Tate, because there's better players on the waiver wire that I'd be
welcome to the waiver wire where the players don't play,
where the players waved,
where the players wave. It's actually really good.
Yeah, it's like I know there's a league out there where someone's got Golden Tate, but Laviska Shenault and Mecole Hardman and some of these other guys, they're on the waiver wire, and it's like, yeah, go drop him and go get those guys.
Or someone dropped Preston Williams.
T. Higgins, yeah, Preston Williams could be there. Like, I'd rather have those guys because at least they have the upside. My guy can't even get you over 10 PPR points.
Yeah. He's more like PP poop. He sucks.
Okay, let's move on to the tight ends. Tight ends are probably one of the most frustrating positions in fantasy football. So we're going to give you some guys who you should start this week. Let's go. TJ Hockenson.
Yeah, so like I said with Carson Wentz, he was my dislike, so that's why I didn't like the Eagles receivers. But on the flip side, Stafford was my guy this week, so I'm going to pick one of these pass catchers, not named Kenny Golladay, that I do like this week. And I'm going to go with TJ Hockenson. He's got a safe floor. He's had 10 or more PPR points in three of the four games so far. So you like seeing that. He's just being utilized in the offense a lot more in his second year. And the Jaguars have allowed the third most receptions to tight ends and the sixth most points allowed to the tight end position. I like TJ Hockenson in this game, especially because I like Matt Stafford. So, yeah, feel comfortable down up TJ Hockenson, tight end.
Hey, double down. Double down on the Detroit Lions.
He scores a touchdown. You fucking heard it here. Clip that shit, dude.
Clip that shit, bro.
Hey, more like TJ Hockenson, bro.
Oh, no more fucking rubbish. You don't play
brother.
like rubbish.
Hey, brother, gonna fucker. You're gonna change his name, TJ Hockenson, bro.
We always do the Hawaiian thing.
We'll move on to Dre's start for the tight end position. We got Irv Smith Jr.
It looks like me and T went with the QB tight end connection. You know what I'm saying?
Because he went Kirk Cousins, and then he went Irv Smith Jr.
I've been big on him. He's like almost like it's kind of like a Gesicki. He's a bigger, more like a wide receiver, but he can block a little bit better. So he's a freak athlete, though. Like I said, last year he was the youngest player to get drafted in the whole draft, so he's still a young guy. Last week saw season high, ran a route on 72.7% of snaps, which led to his best game of the season, 4 catches, 64 yards. I think he might be a product of, I mean, they're playing the Falcons, so it really doesn't matter. But I feel like he's going to be more a product of teams focusing on Jefferson and Thielen. They're going to be more focused on the receiver, so I think he's going to slip under the radar, get a good matchup, and kind of just take advantage of it. I think he gets his first touchdown this week also, so watch the frick out.
Watch the frick out. Irv Smith Jr., dude. He's coming in hot. He's got the 84.
Yeah,
he's Antonio Brown.
I'm not mad at that start, but I am mad at the letting him wear 84. Why is that number not retired?
That's true. It should be retired.
Yeah.
That's like the Bengals allowing T. Higgins to wear 85. Like, Ocho Cinco should be retired for the Bengals.
That is true. But
Lakers. How about the Lakers?
Chad Johnson also did some scandalous stuff. You know, he was a promo for McDonald's before Travis Scott took over. So let's move on to my start for the week. I got Evan Ingram. I know you're thinking, okay, well, obviously Evan Ingram. He's fucking Evan Ingram. Come on, you got to start him. Well, he's not been doing too great this year. Evan Ingram has been kind of caca, actually, even in PPR leagues. What are you doing over there?
He's half-point caca, full-point caca, standard caca.
Yeah, he's just not doing it. He's not giving me what I need, okay? But let's look at Washington's defense. They're allowing 12.8 points per game to the tight end, which is the 4th highest. They've allowed the 3rd most touchdowns to tight end and the 4th most amount of yards to the tight end position. Fire me up some Evan Ingram. If he can't do it this week, it's Daniel Jones' fault. Fuck that guy. Giants need an entirely new team. All right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he's out there running more routes or just as as many routes as all these elite tight ends. So he's out there running routes, and what more can you ask? Like Mike said, it's all Danny Dimes. Is he going to target him? Is he going to get him the ball when he needs to? I think if they start throwing him the ball more, then maybe this offense could actually start moving a little bit better than it has been.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, we can move on to the guys we're fading this week for tight end position. Our first one here is Austin
Pooper.
Pooper.
It's not the super pooper we like either.
Yeah. I fucking hated Austin Hooper this year. I don't know why I'm cursing so much today. Yeah. But I did not like Austin Hooper this year. And every week that he doesn't do anything, I'm like, yes.
Frickin' frack.
Yeah, I'm going to sit Austin Pooper if I can. He gave you a couple Pooper games to start the season. The last 2 weeks, he actually gave you 10 or more PPR points. But last week, it took him 10 targets just to get to 10.7 fantasy points. I can't imagine a scenario where he's getting 10 targets again, especially the Steelers' defense has been pretty good against defending the tight end position. Steelers have allowed the 3rd fewest receptions to tight ends and the 3rd fewest receiving yards to the tight end position. Like I said, I don't expect him to get 10 targets again when you have guys like Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, even Kareem Hunt out of the backfield. I would expect him to get 10 targets more than Hooper. You got Njoku's coming back. So, yeah, I just don't like Austin Hooper in this game. I think it all comes down to I just don't like Baker Mayfield against the Steelers as well.
Yeah. I'm really hoping Baker makes our secondary look better than it has been. I don't know if you know, but Minka's been like his PFF rating is like 44.
This year?
Yeah.
Maybe he's just being too aggressive.
I don't know. I think that we have like the highest blitz percentage. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but I'm sitting Austin Hooper.
No, I'm with you on that one for sure. We can move on to Andre's sit for the week. We got Logan Thomas.
Yeah. This will be quick too. I mean, he's not really being utilized. I know the first few weeks he was pretty surprising. He was getting a good amount of targets. He had 24 targets through the first 3 games, which you can't beat. That's a solid amount of targets. 4 catches in each of those 3 games with a touchdown in the first game. But the last 2 weeks he has 8 targets for 2 catches, 12 yards. I mean, I'm sure they'll be playing from behind. But it's Kyle Allen. I just don't see him. I don't see the spike. I mean, maybe he can have a fluke game, but I'd rather not take my chances. Like I said, the first few weeks he was definitely intriguing, but now it's just I'd rather just kind of keep him chilling with Golden Tate on the bench
in waiver town.
In waiver town.
And fucking Pandora's box.
A box.
Yeah, box. Not that kind of box, you sicko.
Talk about the $5 box from Taco Bell.
All right,
KFC.
well, we can move on to my guy here. We got Zach Ertz.
You're not guy.
Yeah, my guy that I'm not getting.
What has happened to Ertz?
Dude, I just wrote on my notes. He's not good anymore.
It's weird.
Do you want to know what his on the year so far? What his stats are?
Let me hear it.
All right, 145 receiving yards, 20 receptions, and 1 touchdown.
Oh wait, 145 total
Receiving yards on the season.
Jesus,
God,
that's insane, right?
that was insane.
That's what you like to call. Don't fucking start him. Don't look at this guy as the Zach Ertz of previous years. Feel very, very, very comfortable putting him on your bench, no matter the matchup. If you got a better option, man, go and grab it. I'd play Hockenson over Zach Ertz. I mean, it's just gross.
I will do the T-Ref thing. Logan Thomas. I mean, Zach Ertz or Jimmy Graham.
I'm still going Ertz. I don't know what it is with Ertz.
See, that was a good one.
I don't know what it is with Ertz.
I might play Jimmy Graham.
I don't know
over
if it's
Zach.
the lack of weapons that they possess. So defensive coordinators know. Obviously, if you're we just do fantasy. These defensive coordinators get paid millions of dollars to figure out the scheme of the offense. I would like to believe that these defensive coordinators understand, hey, there's no fucking weapons on this team. Carson Wentz loves throwing the ball to Ertz. Let's just double Ertz. Let's just limit Ertz and make him throw to Fulgam. Make him throw to Greg Ward. Make him throw to these other guys that are less talented. So I'm just thinking that with the lack of weapons, the defenses are really just trying. Their game plan is to shut out Ertz, which they've been doing a really good job of. So I'm kind of hoping that once Alshon comes back, once Deshaun comes back and he can stretch the field, Rager will come back eventually, week 9, week 10, whatever it may be, that it'll open things up for Ertz. But yeah, it's just been rough sledding for Ertz. I'll say when I'm asking for a friend, full point PPR, would you start Zach Ertz or Mike Gesicki?
Mike Gesicki.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gesicki as well.
I was gonna say some call it lack of weapons. I call it lack of talent.
I mean, Zach Ertz is still talented.
But he's been good for so many years. I just can't imagine how he just fell off out of nowhere. But I don't know.
Yeah,
the pit bull's loose right
Pups.
I know.
Chill.
But yeah,
yeah. I fade Zach Ertz though. Okay.
for sure.
Fade him.
Hey, fade Zach Ertz like that dude faded Dallas Goedert at the bar. Fade him like that, right?
Jesus, yeah.
Bam! I mean, it's all tied together. He's on the Eagles.
Wait, I didn't see that. Wait, what happened?
Dog, the video where Dallas Goedert got cold clocked.
Wait, can I look it up really fast?
I'm sure you can.
Dallas Goedert
Punched.
I almost put faded.
Bro, hey, he gets.
What if there's just a video
Just what?
right here?
Yep, that first one.
Okay, Pat Gallon. We don't want to fucking see. Let's see.
And already, watch this. He's standing right there.
Okay. Whoa, he got knocked.
Rewind that. Boy, he's knocked out.
He said, "You got knocked the fuck out." Oh my
Boom!
God.
See that's how I'm fading Zach.
Sorry
Ertz.
for audio
Jesus,
listeners. For
he got
audio
laid
listeners,
out.
go to the YouTube if you want to see this. That's crazy,
Oh,
dude.
Man, he got just
Okay, he's
KO'd.
got the concussion arm.
Dude,
Look,
I've done that. I've done that to a guy before, and that he just took it, and then him and his friend just beat my ass.
I thought you were about to say you like slept his.
No.
he slept
He's
him.
like, I got.
And
He's like, I got slept.
And then I got beat up.
Like that was the ideal scenario for me. I was like, hopefully this will happen, but that is not what happened. What happened was I did it. It just stuck his jaw, and then he like literally just chased me down the street, and him and his other 6'5" friend kicked my ass.
Jesus.
Yeah, so.
All right, so let's just stay in Ertz
Fighting's
for
not
one more
cool.
second. Would you be trying to trade for Ertz on the low, or you just want nothing to do with Ertz?
Last week I would have said trade for Ertz. This week it's more Carson Wentz, man. It's more of an indictment on him because he looks like caca.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just hard to
think
say
you
that
can
he's
say-
just washed up because I feel like he's in a contract year too. I believe, and
I mean, you might be right when weapons come. I mean, I don't mind if you trade for him. I think you're gonna get really good value. Hopefully you could trade your pinky toe for Zach Ertz. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say. I would do it if you can get whatever you can get for him. Like, what would you trade to get Zach Ertz?
it's just tough because I have Ertz in the league and I don't want to trade him on the low because it's like it's Zach Ertz, and we've all seen what he could do when he's out there putting up numbers. So I don't want to trade. I don't want to trade 50 cents on the dollar in a sense to get him.
It's more like 4 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, I don't want to trade low, and I'm not going to get back what I invested or what I feel like his upside could be when these other weapons come back. Tough schedule for the Eagles as well to start the season, but I don't know, man. It's just like if I could trade for him, I think I would rather try to trade low. Like, maybe if I could trade like a Hockenson, I'd trade Hockenson to try to get Ertz, just so I could get Ertz. Or I could trade one of these lower tier receivers. Like if I could trade
ends,
or like a Jonathan Taylor.
Like, see, if I had Jonnu Smith and T.J. Hockenson or something like that, I would definitely do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't trade Jonnu. I would trade T.J. Hockenson.
I would
maybe
keep Jonnu for sure.
Yeah, but grab Zach Ertz and then turn, maybe if he has a couple good weeks, or turn that around, or I'm not mad at that. Yeah.
I was just curious what you guys thought. Like I said, I have him. I don't want to trade low on him because, like I said, the upside of what he could be is
just
going to be way more than what I'm going to get in return for him.
Maybe he gets like a minor.
I do feel like he's a good trade low candidate, especially if you're going to trade off like your third receiver or your fourth receiver, or maybe you have a ton of running backs. Maybe you got like 4 or 5 running backs and you trade one of these lower tier running backs that you're not really starting on a week-to-week basis, but this team needs someone. So,
I'm trying to think of another Zach Ertz. Would you do Zach Ertz or Jared Cook?
I'd rather have Zach Ertz.
Okay.
By the way, that story was alleged. That didn't happen. It was allegedly I punched a guy.
Oh,
I just thought about it. I just want, allegedly.
Oh yeah, I heard it was. They can
It's
never,
alleged.
They can never prove that it was you that got chased down the street.
They allegedly kick your ass.
They allegedly kicked my ass.
I was gonna say you look fine to me. You don't look like you got an ass whooping. So
I mean, this was like 2
alleged.
years ago.
Yeah, this is allegedly.
This was allegedly 3 years ago.
well, allegedly, if you got
This was allegedly in the teens, the 20 teens.
oh, okay, you're good then, Couch.
Yeah. All right, I was just curious on your input on it. I feel like he's one of those guys where fantasy managers, they don't know what to do because he's all over the place. But
Zach Ertz, more like Zach Hurts. My fucking
Hayden Hurst or Zach
brain.
Ertz?
I'd rather have Zach Ertz.
Hurts or Ertz?
Yeah, if I could trade Hurst to get Ertz, I would do that for sure.
All right, just seeing where your loyalty was at.
Hurts,
Squirts. Yeah, that's it.
We win it in 6.
Sandwich.
Okay. Well, do we want to wrap this podcast up? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. Okay, so I did this on the last podcast, but then Tyler just ran away. But I like the idea of just reading out some of these reviews that we got, just because we've been getting more.
I had to make a PP.
Yeah, it's okay, dude. Make up excuses.
Can
It's
I
all
make a
right.
PP?
Don't lie.
Yeah, man.
You gonna leave again?
No,
All right, dude, you're dead to me, dude.
No, dude, I'm not leaving again.
Right here.
Okay, we'll read the homie Omar and Rivera. You can find him in the comments section during our live streams, which I think we might be doing on Monday since we don't have a Thursday night game. But he said, just found these guys on YouTube, and they are really entertaining to watch and hear their opinions on game stats, game coverage, predictions, and players. I've been trying to find a podcast that's raw and enjoyable to hear, and AVG did that. These dudes give you straight facts and make football even more entertaining. He said, Broncos got to win this season, though. He put a hashtag in the review, which is great. But he said, Broncos got to win this season, though. Broncos country, son.
When are we going to do a episode
Hashtag Broncos
wearing
country.
football helmets?
I'm cool with
Because
that.
we're so about football, we should just wear
Halloween.
helmets. That'd be great.
Nice.
I'm going to be Shaquille for Halloween.
I'm going to be a part of a mariachi band.
I'm going to be Shaquille for Halloween, but without the blackface.
I'm going to be...
They're like, what are you, Mario?
Kobe!
No,
Should just be
Shaquille.
Dr. Disrespect.
Was that buckets?
I'm about to bleach my mustache. Thanks for listening to the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. This has been Season 3, Episode 60. Leave us a review on the Apple Podcast app, and we can read it out loud at the end of the podcast for you. It's a nice little gift for you, giving us a gift.
Blah, 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 blah,
blah, blah, blah. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're trying to get into the YouTube partner program, which requires us to have a specific amount of subscribers.
Yeah.
When we're pretty close. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. It helps us out big time. Big time.
Big time. Big time. That's a good movie.
Big time. So go do that. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter if you want to get some extra information from us. And also, we're doing a last-minute lineup live stream where we give you little start-sit last-minute questions. You just send them up to us on YouTube. That's like an hour before the game start on Sunday. It's always a good time. We fucked it up last week. Our internet was muffed up, but we'll be back this week, okay? So yeah, like I said, thanks for listening. And us big boys.
Guadalajara.
Are out.